Hello friends, welcome to the Global Pulse. The recent rise of unrest and revolt in Baluchistan has been the biggest in the history of Pakistan ever since the formation in 1947. So far 35,953 deaths occurred in the last 20 years according to unconfirmed reports. Well, in this situation, how much is friendship with China in Baluchistan costing Pakistan for CPEC? Pakistan has always preferred to use military force to deal with movements rather than focusing on reconciliation. Because of this, the Tehrik-i-Taliban Pakistan, TTP, and the Baluch movement have united to oppose the Pakistan government's attitude and approach towards them. The recent attacks on several targets in Pakistan's Baluchistan province point to the growing turmoil in the region. In March this year, some armed men entered the Gwadar Port Authority, GPA, premises located in Baluchistan province and started firing indiscriminately. Many security personnel were killed in this attack. While reports in Pakistani newspapers claimed that 8 attackers were killed in retaliation by local security personnel. The Baluchistan Liberation Army, BLA, claimed responsibility for the attack. These attacks were the result of problems and conditions that had become a canker on the socio-cultural and economic fabric of Baluchistan. A major reason for the attacks is the desire of the CPEC, China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, to run a communication corridor from Xinjiang to Gwadar through Baluchistan, which the residents of the province did not support. Pakistan has been getting China's support for a very long time to crush the rebels fighting for freedom and other such movements. Pakistan, a close ally of China for decades, wants to deliberately use China's wealth to solve many of its problems like they have done with the US for their roguish intentions. On the other hand, China wants to make Pakistan its colonized territory by funding them with billions of dollars in the form of investments in different projects and granting them loans like the IMF. While there are many similarities in their India-centric agenda, Pakistan hoped that China would join its proxy war against India. A look back after 1947 shows that Pakistan has been receiving financial, diplomatic and military support from China. From handing over Kashmir's Shaksgam Valley illegitimately to China on the basis of a sham border agreement in 1963 to hosting the CPEC and almost handing over control of northern Gilgit, Pakistan's list of strategic gifts to China goes on. Historically, Pakistan has mostly chosen alliances based on security and development priorities. The country's engagement with the US has given it many advantages to fulfill their illicit purposes. However, its flawed vision of using secret entities to gain leverage and gain strategic depth in Afghanistan has been exposed. As a result, there is insecurity in the entire region, including Afghanistan. In its quest for powerful allies like the US and China, Pakistan has neglected to integrate the western provinces and their people. Thousands of deaths occurred due to violence in Pakistan. In 2009, Pakistan recorded 11,317 deaths due to internal conflict. In 2019, the number increased to 17,657. Since the start of 2020, there has been a clear increase in the number of violence and deaths, reaching 2,707 in 2023. This year the figure is 3,140. The year is not completed yet. So, who knows how much will the numbers increase? In 2023, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Baluchistan accounted for 90% of all deaths and 84% of all attacks in Pakistan. Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Baluchistan saw an increase of 54% and 63%, respectively, compared to 2021. The two regions account for 92% of all deaths in Pakistan so far this year. So, what are the reasons for the attacks in recent days? The recent attacks on Akbar Bugti's death anniversary have sent a different message. From brutal attacks on security and policemen, to attacks on infrastructure in Bolan, Baluchistan and ethnic targeting of civilians. When were the major attacks? In April this year, Punjabi travelers were shot dead by militants near Nushki town in Baluchistan after checking their identity cards. Last month on August 26, again 22 Punjabi workers were killed in Musical district. The bus they were traveling in was stopped on the highway. The passengers were dragged out of the bus, and their ID cards were checked. Those found of Punjabi ethnicity were shot dead on the spot without any crime or reasons. They were the laborers from Punjab going to Baluchistan in search of work. The Baluchistan Liberation Army took the responsibility for this killing. Such incidents of extremism show that the Baluchi people are no longer ready to tolerate other people outside of Baluchistan. Within 24 hours after this incident, another 70 people were killed in Baluchistan in 6 such attacks, including 21 BLA fighters, 35 civilians, and 14 security personnel. Some months ago, 6 Punjabi laborers were killed in Kek district in what was considered a target killing by local authorities themselves. Last year, gunmen attacked a labor camp near Turbet and killed 20 people. They all were from Punjab and Sindh. Why do Baluch people want freedom? Why do Baluch militants target Punjabis in Baluchistan? The answer lies in the history of Pakistan. But before that, let us know who the Baluch are and why they are so much angry. Baluchistan is Pakistan's largest province with a Baluch majority. These are people who have their own dialect and culture. For a long time, Baluch people have been demanding their own independent country separate from Pakistan. Because they felt being betrayed by the Pakistani leaders ever since the formation. Baluchistan was granted independence 4 days before India and Pakistan. That is August 11, 1947. Their leaders at that time never wanted to join Pakistan and instead want to remain an independent state. But Muhammad Ali Jinnah forcefully and brutally annexed Baluchistan into Pakistan by sending its army as they did it with India in Kashmir. Thus they felt being betrayed by Jinnah ever since. That is, it is a kind of separatist movement, which is one of the many extremist movements flourishing in Pakistan. People in this province bordering Afghanistan say that Pakistan has always discriminated against it. Baluchistan has more than 45% of the gas production of the entire country. This diocese is also rich in copper and gold. Pakistan takes advantage of this, but Baluchistan's local economy is going from bad to worse. They do not get their fair share. The language and culture of Baluch people is different from the rest of Pakistan. They speak Baluchi language, while Urdu and Urdu mixed Punjabi are prevalent in Pakistan. Baluchis fear that Pakistan will also eliminate their language and culture, as they have done with Bangladesh in the past. Despite being the largest province with huge natural resources, potential economic growth with great employment opportunities, their place in Pakistan's establishment, Islamabad's politics and military is negligible. Baluchis continued to accuse the Pakistani government of depriving them from basic necessities which they deserve to have, crushing and ending their human rights. Supporters of Baluchistan often disappear or become victims of extrajudicial killings. According to an NGO, Baluch missing persons are more than 50,000. These Baluchis have gone missing between 2001 and 2023. Thank you very much for being with us. Always stay tuned for the latest news and updates across the globe. Goodbye and see you soon.